Does the phrase President Marjorie Taylor Greene send a shiver down your spine? If not, then you're probably one of the few people in this country that actually likes her. But if it does, then be warned. According to a recent interview with Taylor Greene, she has not, in fact, ruled out a run for president. And even though she admits in this interview that, hey, she's only a freshman lawmaker, and really only basically in her second year as a freshman lawmaker, doesn't even sit on any committees, has no power, has passed no legislation whatsoever, but she still told InfoWars this week that, you know what? I may run for president someday. She's not necessarily saying it's going to be in 2024, obviously, because as she says, she's a very strong supporter of President Trump. But then she says, but in the future, we'll definitely see what happens. We'll see what the people think about something like that. That was in direct response to the question of, can we get you to run for president in the next few years? Because I think you're one of the few people that would probably have a better voting record and have a better chance at winning than even Trump. How so? I am curious about that. What is it about this person's 1 year in office where she did literally nothing except show people how crazy she is? What part of that makes you think she would be a good president? Like her voting record. Her voting record is literally no different than 99% of the other Republicans in the House of Representatives. Except they actually have committee assignments where they can, propose legislation, get it discussed in committee, possibly get it to the House floor. Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't even have that because she's so extreme and crazy. And of course, she's been accused multiple different times of harassing her colleagues, chasing them down the hallway, making them actually fear for their safety. She's done nothing for her constituents back home. They still seem to love her, even though she's doing nothing for them. And she's passed 0 pieces of legislation. Having said all that, oh my God, I want Marjorie Taylor Greene to run for president. I truly, honestly do. Because you know what? I would love to see Marjorie Taylor Greene on the national stage, both figuratively and literally, get creamed by the entire American public, right? Because that's what would happen. This person is not somebody who's gone up against other Republicans in a debate format. That would be fun to watch. It reminds me of Chris Christie dismantling Marco Rubio in the 2015 Republican debates. I know I talk about that a lot because that really was such an amazing moment. I love it. It basically ended Marco Rubio's, presidential aspirations. And I could see any number of Republicans doing that to Marjorie Taylor Greene. The public at large that has been able to ignore her because they're not as, deep into politics as some other folks, they would get their first taste of what an extremist this individual is. And after all, we have seen her already pretty much fail on the national stage. She did that little tour with Matt Gaetz that was so horrible they lost money on it. They bankrupted their own political action committee to go on that tour that nobody wanted to attend. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I guess I agree that Marjorie Taylor Greene should run for president, not because I want her to win, but because I want to watch her fail. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.